So one thing that I going in and out of consciousness that I do remember that night is, up until reality kind of set in later, the initial, when I was laying there on the ice, there was a sense of calmness and peace that was with me. And it was I don't know, it was a very weird feeling, and it was a very, loving feeling, if that makes sense, kind of. And I don't know what came over me, but I just kind of kept repeating, because my mom was a little hysterical, and my dad, doesn't really show a lot of emotion, but he was kind of freaking out. And I just said over and over again, God has a plan. Like, everything's going to be okay. God has a plan, over and over again. And it's kind of stuck with me, through my journey of my accident. And, I'm kind of human, right? We're no one's perfect. We're all human. And so that night when I kept going over, why would I say that? I was in an accident. I kind of took what my future, that I thought my future was, kind of away, and I had to start all over again. And so, really post years, the first couple of years after my accident, I was just questioning God of why. And to back up a little bit, my dad has this famous story, I guess, or just famous, just tells it a lot. His freshman year of high school, when he was getting ready for two-a-days, and they were doing height and weight and all that, he stepped on a scale and said 98 or 99 pounds. And the coach just felt sorry for him, so they wrote 100 pounds. And then, his senior year, he's 6'2", 185, he had a growth spurt. And so we were kind of late bloomers. And my junior year came, my knees hurt, I got a lot of shin splints. On our off days, I'd get out of bed, and I felt like an old man, really. And I could feel it, I feel a growth spurt coming. And at that time, I was 5'10", 5'9 and a half, maybe. Fast forward through the accident, and March came around, I was still in rehab, but I was going to be able to make prom my junior year. And my OT happened to be, I don't know what they're called, she could sew and stuff. And so we did all my measurements in the gym where I could lay flat. And so she was measuring my arms, because we were going to just call it in, hey, these are the measurements for the suit, because it was going to be on a time crunch. And my mom just blurted out, how tall is he? Because she didn't know. And she laid out the tape and was like, oh, you're about 6'1", 6 foot. And so from that 3.5 month period, I went through my growth spurt. Something that, I've been waiting on my whole life. As Alex did tell you, I was a little short stuff my entire life, and I was kind of known as a ball player that was smart and intelligent, because he wasn't really fast enough or strong enough. And I was just waiting for, he's fast and strong and smart, And I never got to experience that. And it really angered me that was taken away from me, and I kept going back to that night. Why was I so calm and then later so angry? And God has a plan. Well, what's his plan? Because right now, really, it's only angering me. It's only making me self-destruct and not getting what I wanted. But, through the years, I've really grown to appreciate what God's plan really was and what it continues to be. And that is, let him take over. You're not perfect. You're never going to make the right decisions. That night, you could only make the decisions that were available at the time. If I keep preoccupying myself and thinking, what if I didn't say, let's go back out there one more time? And what if I listen to Alex again? It's like, hey, it's cold, it's getting late, let's go in. Then everything could have been better. It could have been different. I could have lived, I could have went to college, played baseball, and done all these things instead of, 4 or 5 weeks of therapy. I wouldn't have to deal with pressure sores, or, simply getting a cold and that leading to a cough and that leading to pneumonia, or, because I can't cough on my own. I don't have my diet from them, right? My life would be 10 times easier, if that has happened, and it's all part of his plan. This makes no sense. But I learned that God's wisdom is infinite, and it's not our job to calculate and understand his full plan, because it is God's plan in the end. And it's our job to be free and live in the moment, not to think about the past, or not to think about what the future holds, but to understand that God gives you beauty in what you have in the present. I am 100% a better man today because of what happened to me that night. My love is greater. I have a greater appreciation for life. I don't take anything for granted. I've met so many wonderful people in my life that I'm not sure I would have ever met, that have impacted me far greater than, I could have ever imagined. So Bill, answer your question, what that night laying on the ice, but why I was saying God has a plan, it was like God said, you don't know it now, but the clarity that you're feeling is going to make sense later on. And it does. And it continues to this day.